Hey there everybody, welcome to Shaneology. I'm your host, Shaney. I know it's been a while since you've seen this lovely visage of mine. I've been locked away in another dimension for a while. If you guys have seen my series, you'll know what I'm talking about. So guys, today I'm doing something a bit different. My friends, we've been going through some tough times. 2020 hasn't been easy for anyone, especially for those of us who are trying desperately to find our special someone, our mates, our compadres. People just aren't communicating the way they used to communicate and get intimate, you know? And not just because of the COVID and the social distancing. No, there's a whole bunch of reasons why. Back in my day, if I wanted to woo a girl, I'd go to her window in the middle of the night, get out my boom box, and I'd play Peter Gabriel, and she'd fall head over heels. Yes, those were the days. But nowadays you can't do that. Because first of all, nobody has boom boxes anymore. But guys, there's social awkwardness going on between the sexes, yeah? See, Freud would say that we are having some real problems connecting. So I thought to myself, Shaney, how could I help? Here's the thing, guys. Something that I used to do when I had problems, you know, back in the day. Not now. No, not now. When I felt like I wasn't confident, I needed to boost confidence, I needed to know how to talk to that special someone in my life, I used to look to films and movies. Sometimes you get some amazing lines that you could use, and icebreakers, and things of that nature that you could use, you know, to woo your special someone. However, sometimes they don't work quite as well as they do in the movies, or sometimes they just don't work at all. Because of all this, I've decided to do a new segment called Worst Movie Pickup Lines Ever. I'm going to pick a movie that might be considered romantic, and I'm going to comb through this movie, pick out 5 potentially usable pickup lines or dating advice that you shouldn't use. And I'm going to start with the Star Wars Prequels. It's an action film, Shaney. What are you thinking here? Sure it is. It's an action film, but it's also at its core, at its true core, it's a romance. It's a failed romance, but a romance nonetheless. So without further ado, guys, top 5 worst movie pickup lines from the Star Wars Prequels. Number 5.
Try spinning, that's a good trick.
Try spinning, that's a good trick.
Let's forget the fact that this was a little kid saying this, but little kids try to get girls too, right? Well, you might ask someone to do that, and you know, if you see that a girl that you like actually enjoys taking spin classes, for example. You know, let's just say there's this girl that you really like, and you find out that she's into spinning, you know, spin class, bicycling. And you say, hey,
Let's try spinning. That's a neat trick.
this line's a bit too forward, guys. I mean, it might work in certain contexts, but I don't see this as a good first date. First of all, you see someone sweating, and no one wants to see you sweat, especially if you're one of those people who sweat a lot. You got your pits all stank, you know, you're sweating on your brow. It's not a good look. If you're a girl, you got your mascara running all down your face because you're sweating. It's not a good look. So as far as dating is concerned, don't try spinning. It's not a good trick. Number 4.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
This one's a weird one, but it's good. Because find yourself on a blind date, guys, or with a girl who you like, and she just happens to be a smoker, and she offers you a cigarette. You know, would you like a cigarette? First of all, girls don't call them death sticks. It's just not a good sign. A marketing department for death sticks really need an alteration because there's something wrong with the marketing there. Maybe that's what you do to stop people from smoking. You just make mandatory that you change the name from cigarettes to death sticks, and you'll see a lot less smokers out there. I guarantee it. Even if you change this to cigarettes and someone offers you a cigarette in a date, would you like a cigarette? She's gonna be a girl with that voice because it's the smokers. She's gonna have a smoker's cough. You like a cigarette? Just say, oh, I'm good, thanks. Thanks, but no thanks, man. You don't have to go and preach. Don't preach to girls. Nobody likes to be preached to. So don't be like, do you like a cigarette? You want to go home and rethink your life? I want to go home and rethink. It's not going to happen. You know, just be like,
Who the hell do you think you are? Don't tell me what to do.
You don't want to try that Jedi mind trick. That's really what you're going to get. So just be warned. Don't be like Obi-Wan. And don't preach.
Obi, don't preach. Death sticks have hold on me. Obi, don't preach. My tricks don't work on me.
So the best advice on this one is just don't preach on your date. It's not a good idea. Number 3.
Execute Order 66.
Now, execute Order 66 may not seem like belongs in this countdown, which might be true, but for one tricky number, and that's the 6, because 6 upside down, as we all know, guys, is 69. It's just a flip away. Person who read it wrong or saw it wrong and said, execute Order 69. It might not be a good idea because we've got something called consent, guys. So, you don't want to be executing orders like Order 69, even 66, which I'm not sure what position 66 is. I guess it's the opposite of 69, which is just missionary, I guess.
Execute order, missionary.
It would have been amazing to see Palpatine say,
Execute order, doggy style.
can you imagine if he just named all his orders after sexual positions?
Execute order, donkey punch.
So just remember, guys, today, especially 2020, consent is very important. We're gonna be very cautious with our commands. So, execute 66 could be confused for 69. If you ever thought that this was a good idea to use, and you probably didn't, but if you did, this is all predicated on if you did.
Execute position 69.
It's not a good idea.
I shall use the force.
Anyway, next. This one is going to be a bonus. It's not exactly a pickup line, but this one is kind of silly and funny, so I'm including it as bonus. Bonus. I meant to say bonus.
How's he gonna pay for all of this?
I have 20,000 Republic dactaries.
Republic credits? Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real.
I don't have anything else, but credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
The reason why I consider this bonus is because it's a bit of a stretch. But I like this whole thing as far as talking point. So when you go on a date with a girl and you think you're going to get away with not paying the bill or dine and dash, you find yourself in this fancy French restaurant and the bill comes out more than you expected, you're go trying the mind trick on the waiter. Doesn't look good on your date. Don't be like Qui-Gon Jinn here.
Here is your bill, sir. I only have $44. Unfortunately, you owe us $50. $44 is good enough. No, $44 is not good enough. I need $50 plus tip. You will not accept a tip. I will accept a tip, but I will spit on your food next time.
It's not a good look, and it makes you look like a cheapskate and look bad in front of your dates. Don't try that. There's a lesson to be learned there, which is why I put it on the bonus list. Number 2 on the list.
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
This one's a weird one too, because it goes back to the first one, which was don't preach. So if your girl tells you she got anxiety or something, you're sitting there with a girl or your guy or somebody who you're on a date with, and they start,
Oh my god, I got tons of anxieties. I just
start going on about anxieties, and they start telling you problems. A lot of people want to unload their problems on you on a date, which is no, because then there's no better way to put yourself in the friend zone than play Dr. Phil on a date. Just don't do it. It's not good. Definitely don't do it like Yoda. So if your girl or a guy ever goes,
I've got so much anxieties all the time. I walk around the street and I'm always afraid of everything.
Anxiety is the path to the dark side.
What are you even talking about?
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Preaching leads to date. Leaving.
This is what I call Yoda-splaining. And here's the thing, guys, on a date, girls want you to listen. They don't need advice. And even if you do decide to listen, don't offer advice. Be an open ear to them. They just want you to be a good listener. They don't need you to Yoda-splain to them and go,
Yes. Anxiety leads to suffering.
Women, girls, ladies, gentlemen, don't unload your problems in a date either. It's tacky, it's not a good look. And you don't want your first impressions of somebody to be that of pity. You want someone to think of you as someone capable, well, not someone who's constantly in pity mode.
Pity party leads to suffering.
So don't do it. Alright guys, so now for my number 1 not to do prequel dating advice. Look no further than this gem of a line.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
I know that this line is a very popular line. This is one that everybody always refers to when it comes to how awkward this romantic scene is. It doesn't need much of me to say what not to do in this scene, but let's be honest, guys. That is a terrible, terrible line. Now, why is it terrible, guys? First of all, you don't complain on the date. I just said that, and then continue. Don't complain on the date. I hate sand. It's coarse. It gets in my butt crack. If this was a normal date, guys, a normal situation, right after the date, you know for a fact Pat me be on the phone with her girlfriends is being like,
Oh my god, I was just on this horrible date. This guy went on and on about sand for like 2 hours. Like, such a loser. And then he touched me with his hand and said, I'm not like sand. Like, oh my god, that's like supposed to be a compliment?
You know that's what she's doing right after this. This is why this is fancy. She went right on the phone to be complaining to Jar Jar.
He said you know what? He said he big doo-doo now.
You know for a fact that's who she's talking to. It's going to Jar Jar, telling all her personal problems. And if somehow this does succeed, if a girl does admit she loves you and says, I love you.
I love you.
Don't do this.
Liar!
Don't. Even if you don't believe her. Because you never know who's also watching. You could be in a situation where you see other girls there going,
Oh my god. This girl just confessed her love and he just said,
Liar!
Y'all there, what a dick.
Liar.
oh, you never know who's watching. So guys, be very, very mindful of your tone in certain situations. Anyway guys, these are my top 5 worst Star Wars prequel movie pickup lines ever. And I'm pretty sure I missed a whole bunch. So if you can find any other prequel movie lines that I should have used, leave them in the comments. And then maybe I'll make a sequel to the prequels. Please do subscribe to my channel guys. So until next time, take care now. Bye bye then.